Before I move into the business at hand, I know the Senate floor is closed today. I just want to say that how disappointed I was in the President's comments yesterday relative to Iran. I know that we have questions about the tip report and trafficking, and I wonder if, because we have questions and concerns about trafficking, it throws us into a category of being bad people. I thought the President's comments yesterday relative to Iran, I just want to put things in perspective. Before we had a 19-0 committee vote here, the White House had a veto threat against us weighing in on the Iran deal. Veto threat up until an hour and a half before that vote took place, because they did not want a public debate on Iran. Obviously, the committee chose otherwise. We passed it out on a 19-0 vote. Everyone here voted for it. But they did not want the issue debated. What the President did yesterday by saying that Senator Cardin, a ranking member who has questions about the Iran deal, Senator Menendez, who has questions about the Iran deal, by the way, both of which voted against the Iraq War, if I remember correctly, Senator Johnson, who has concerns about the Iran deal, we are being compared to the hardliners in Iran because we have concerns. Concerns that we are trying to have answered. Just a few months ago, the President publicly was talking about what a thoughtful, principled person I was. I have to get the quote someplace, but now because I have concerns, and I think everyone has concerns, and people are going to have to make a decision. This is going to be one of the toughest decisions, but he's trying to shut down debate by saying those who have questions, legitimate questions, are somehow unpatriotic, or somehow compared to hardliners in Iran. And again, it's to shut down debate. It's to make this about something other than arguing it on the merits of the deal. So I'm very disappointed. I know Senator Cardin was meeting with the President last night. I do want to say, Senator, I wish that you had been there last night to hear the discussion about Parchin. Wendy Sherman said yesterday in banking she would come share with us how Parchin, how that arrangement was working. I called her early this morning to ask her if she would at least, at a minimum, let us have her notes from when she was briefed by the IAEA. And I'm beginning to believe that one of the reasons they do not want people to know, it's not about Iran's confidentiality. I don't think it would stand the test of late-night comedy if people understood how the Parchin thing was being done. So I just hope that today we thank Sarah Sewell for being here. The fact that we have concerns about trafficking, that again on a unanimous vote, we voted to end modern slavery in this world, that somehow we will not be viewed as people who are unpatriotic, be viewed as people that somehow are not serious about this issue. So today we're going to examine recently released 2015 State Department Trafficking in Persons Report. This year's report has attracted significant interest because of controversy over how tier rankings were made regarding certain countries, including India, China, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, Cuba, and Mexico. We thank Undersecretary of State Sarah Sewell for testifying today so she can explain these tier rankings to the committee. If it is true that the administration politicized this report, there are questions about why they chose to significantly diminish a tool that has been effective in fighting slavery around the world. If we're actually going to end modern slavery, we need to take on the hard questions and work harder. How we make the tough calls matter. The integrity of the TIP report matters for our country's credibility when we speak up for the powerless and the oppressed. The State Department in our nation will be judged by how the State Department leaders make tough calls on the TIP report's tier rankings. The State Department's behind closed doors tier ranking process only muddies the water. We in Congress and everyone in the State Department and other parts of our government are responsible for implementing the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. Each year, the TIP report makes recommendations for progress and turns these into tailored action plans for our embassies. Rigorously applied TIP action plans should inform the tough calls on tier rankings. In releasing the 2015 TIP report, Secretary Kerry said that, bottom line, this is no time for complacency. I am not convinced, and I hope I won't be criticized for this, or I'll be ridiculed for this. I'm not convinced that this report lives up to that statement. As many as 27 million human beings live in conditions of modern slavery. We need to be serious about this for their sake. And with that, I'd like to recognize our distinguished ranking member, Senator Cardin, who I respect greatly and really appreciate his commitment, his long-term commitment to ensuring that human rights are honored and that we deal with issues like this in a way that's full of integrity. Thank you.